So we got some numbers.
$1,000.
All of the Epstein files have been released.
It ain't dying I'm talking about, it's living.
Somebody!
Today is going to be my peaceful day.
Hey, all.
Hi.
I see Pogue in there and Jamie. And
Hey, Massey's calling it the Epstein Administration now.
Yes, he
that's
is.
catching on, isn't it?
Yeah, not Epstein class, the Epstein Administration.
Yeah. And he went nuts. Massey went nuts.
Well, I went nuts last night. I called a bunch of Democratic representatives and did exactly the same thing I did when Marjorie Taylor Greene brought it up. I said, hey, we need to get the speakership away from Mike Johnson. See if you can get enough Republicans on board. And even if it has to be Massey, it's better than Mike Johnson. So that's what I would spend my night doing. I'm on a list.
And Pogue's busy trying to get that fancy Italian oil. Did you get your fancy Italian oil yet?
I did. Got 2 liters of it yesterday.
Did you really?
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
And how much more did it cost with Trump's tariffs?
Well, actually, it's hard for me. A PS to the story is that after Mrs. P got a notification that they would not be able to honor their pricing, so they were going to cancel her automatic delivery. She was watching TV on HSN, which is where she had ordered the stuff, and they were offering it for automatic delivery at the same price she had ordered it before. Now, I don't know whether she did anything to recuperate and resuscitate the account she had, but I just told her, don't worry about it. I can get it online just as easily as you can get it delivered automatically. So, but the difference is hers was an Italian oil, and I'm trying to remember which province it was from, but what I'm getting is Moroccan, which is supposedly super duper or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness!
It's got more. It's unprocessed, and it's got supposedly more of the shit that makes olive oil good for you. So
the good shit. Well, Rebellious Renee, after you posted your experience, she wrote here about she's having trouble with yarn.
Yeah, I saw that.
A lot of places no longer carrying the yarn I use because they come from China, and so it got me. It's like this is our own special version of farm reports. Instead of like soybeans and stuff, we do oil and yarn, the oil and yarn report.
And the fact that you may not see on a particular product a price increase as a result of the tariff, or that you can trace to a result of the tariffs, doesn't mean that it's not there, and it's not costing someone in that supply chain that tariff, because someone in the supply chain is paying it, and the only people that pay the tariffs are in the U.S.
And we can all see that prices have gone up across the board.
Sure.
So we know this, but what I'm wondering is if he's going to pull something sneaky, like trying to actually give us a $2,000 tariff refund.
I think he's going to try and do that
midterms.
right before the Yep.
Yeah. With his, and he's going to sign the check himself.
Yeah, just like he did the COVID checks.
Maybe I missed something along the way, but I swore that Article 1 gives the power of the purse, not Article 2.
There you go again, acting like the Constitution still matters.
Well, I'm sorry. I guess I'm just traveling hopefully.
You're old. You're old school.
Hell, I'm just old.
Yeah, I just remember that
But
video
this
they
is-
had.
right here, this article here is what got me going on tariffs. I was driving to the doctor yesterday for my checkup, and WTOP had this story on, and I came back. Actually, I got my Gemini to look it up while I was driving. Anyway, this National Tax Foundation, which I have learned is a nonprofit. I mean, not a nonpartisan group. They have concluded in this report yesterday that the Trump tariffs amount to an average tax increase per household of $1,000 in 2025 and $1,300 in 2026. Now that is a campaign gift.
Oh yeah,
Midterms for the midterms. And there's something about the number 1,000. You know, when you say something's 1,000, it just registers with people. You know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I know where we've seen it in the grocery stores. I mean, that's where we really see it.
Mhm.
I mean, gasoline, no, we don't see it there as much because gasoline's a fluctuating market anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, by its nature, it's a supply demand market, and for individual grocery items, yeah, it's supply demand. But I know how much we pay for food on a typical trip to the grocery store, and on a typical trip to the grocery store, we buy about the same damn stuff. It's not like, we're wandering the aisles looking for
Yeah.
exotic items to buy. We're trying to buy the same shit we've been eating for years. And
Glass Onion X-Ray, welcome to the podcast. Tell us where you're from. I think you might have been here before and told me, and I forgot. He's going to just keep telling the public everything is wonderful. Yeah, that's what he'll do.
yeah,
That's what he'll do. And speaking of groceries, I did get this little clip here.
Happens in the grocery store. How does this impact the price of groceries?
Yes, as tariffs increase prices on imported foods and services, that raises the cost of those imports, but it also raises
I'm
the
not getting
cost
any
of the
sound
domestic
on
goods
that.
that compete with them. So if the Mexican avocado gets more expensive, the California avocado will also rise due to the smaller supply of foreign avocados, right?
Yeah, she was testifying. I thought she made the interesting point that as tariffs go up on foreign goods coming in, then because that actually has the domestically produced prices go up also. As she used the example of avocado. It's that you've got a problem with that audio there, Pogue, with that.
I didn't hear. I couldn't hear it. I had actually seen her testify, but
yeah. Have you heard? Can you hear everybody else?
yeah,
Okay, because that
I guess.
that app that they created. Yeah, we haven't let anybody else talk. Maybe that's it. Oh, Glass Onion X-rays from the eastern side of Nevada. Eastern Nevada. Well, welcome, Eastern Nevada. Glass Onion.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yesterday I found StreamYard has this app for Apple users, for iPhone users, where they're trying to deal with the unique issues that Apple users or iPhone users have with their platform. So I don't know if anybody's tried that or not. And that's especially address audio problems.
Yeah, well, if it was supposed to, they still got some work to do.
Are you using that app that I posted there?
Well, I don't know. I'm just it doesn't automatically trigger itself.
No, you have to download it on your Apple.
Well, in that case, maybe they've got it fixed, and I just don't know.
I've got the link on the live chat page. But anyway, that's enough of that.
I was going to say up above, there's like a line across a bar across
Somebody's
my
got
thing
nice
where it
music
says
for you.
StreamYard that also says Trail Mix Live VIP chat.
Yeah.
But there's no, it just takes me to that private messaging place is the only thing it does. So anyway.
So anyway, I sat there yesterday. You're talking about tariffs, and just because it was before my time, and it's been 50 years since I was 55 years since I was in economics in college. I went back and read a little bit about Smoot-Hawley to see how that played out, because it's essentially we seem to be in a similar situation right now, which is we throw tariffs up, or we claim we're going to, and the countries against whom the tariffs, or the products against whom the tariffs are targeted, throw their own tariffs up in retaliation. And of course, slightly different economic conditions. I mean, we're not standing, hopefully, on the precipice of the next depression, but the estimates were that in terms of the U.S. economy, or was it the global? I think it was the global economy, that the Smoot-Hawley tariffs had a 40% depression of the world economy.
Wow.
And that was tariffs on.
Was that the one in
20,000.
the Hoover? Was that in the before Hoover, in the Hoover era? Is that when that was?
That was before Hoover.
Before
Hoover may have signed it, actually. That may have been a Hoover signature.
Because the way I remember is that that it was passed just before Hoover took office, and he was under pressure and he ended up signing it, but didn't really want to. And
yeah, it took a year. It took a year for Smoot and Hawley to get it moved through the respective houses of Congress and reconciled. And so, yeah, that's very possible.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Carlos. Hello, Carlos. Got us some facts. Bringing some facts to the table. Hoover implemented it. Okay.
Yep, there you go.
I'll take your word for it, Carlos. Where are you? Tell us where you are. We like to know where people are. We're not going to come find you or nothing. But we like.
Yeah, Wiki has a long write-up on it under Smoot-Hawley, and it was Hoover that signed.
Do you suppose Trump has any idea what that is? Oh, Tampa.
If he watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off, he might.
Someone in his education should have mentioned it somewhere along the way, considering that he's supposed to.
It was supposed to be a business degree.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is just hopeless with it. You know, that's, hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Anyway, gung hei fat choi to everybody.
Oh yeah, happy Lunar New Year.
You too.
Oh, good.
Is that the same thing as the horse year that?
Yep.
Pat was
Yep.
this morning?
The red horse of the
Over here.
apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
The lunar new year of the horse, she wrote.
The fire horse.
This morning I saw. Oh, is that Brewster?
No.
Oh, I thought that was
No, it's Winnie. It's
that's
Winnie.
You know, I haven't been able to tell the difference between Winnie and Brewster yet.
Well, they're probably about the same size.
I
Yeah.
think they might be.
So.
Yeah, we have Mardi Gras and
is Winnie.
we have Mardi Gras and the Chinese New Year happening on the same day.
Oh,
She's
Get it
right.
exciting.
She's a mini schnauzer. And she's about 10, 11 pounds.
Schnauzer.
Is it Fat Tuesday, Jamie?
Yes.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a rare
Trying to get
occurrence.
I've got a friend in New Orleans who I was trying to get him to send us some pictures, but I'm not
Already on it, Glass Onion. Already on it.
sure. Oh, what?
Yep, I am. My dog's a schnauzer.
Oh, Carlos, by the way, is in Tampa. Hello Tampa.
Opal is punning again.
I went to law school
Yep.
at St. Petersburg, Carlos, so I know Tampa quite well. Grew up
Yeah,
in
well-
Orlando and went to school in St. Petersburg. All right.
Oh, by the way, speaking of hometowns, I want to shout out to Norwood Young America, Minnesota. That is my hometown. And they had their first ever protest on Saturday.
Norwood.
Norwood
They're
Young
kinda
America.
they're kind of late to the game, aren't they? But
They
they're
are,
good.
but they're in a
good.
very, very, very red area. It's
Oh.
farming community. But they had about 150 people out on the sidewalks, and I saw the pictures and I cried because growing up in that community was very, very conservative, and being Democratic in a red community was very difficult because it was all about the farmers and benefiting the farmers and everything. And of course, that dominated everything.
Minnesota has done a wonderful job. They really have.
Katie, did you see the dance tribute that the First Amendment troop did last night?
Yes, I did. That was really cool.
Wasn't it?
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That Opal's on the case. That Opal guy is here. Hey, Opal.
Yeah.
Dude,
So the cool thing is the guy who is really putting the information out there is this Doug Chapin that's running against Tom Emmer. And he was at the protest, and there's going to be protests all through Carver County, which is where I grew up. So Chaska, Chanhassen, where else did he say? There's going to be protests everywhere. He's doing all of it. I had to get Minnesotan on y'all because that's what I do.
And not for nothing, but I saw a clip. There was a guy. He said that there was a county, I think in North Carolina, maybe. Anyway, it went 80% for Trump, and it's a very small area, very low low population, and their town council voted against cooperating with ICE, which costs them money because you get money to cooperate with ICE. They pay you to do it, apparently. And it was at 80% for Trump, and they said, nope, we're not absolutely having anything to do with ICE. So it's not popular even with
part of the state
MAGA.
is your hometown in?
What part of the state
Yeah,
is your hometown, Katie? Katie.
It's okay.
Katie got distracted.
Well, I forgot to take my pills.
Uh-oh.
So I ran to the other room to get my pills. And yeah. Let me see. Northern America
Now
is
YouTube's going to ban us if we talk about drugs. TikTok banned me and Jack one time.
it's let me see. I'm trying to think because it's been 20
well, just
some years.
divide Minnesota into 4 quadrants.
Well, it's southwest suburbs of Minneapolis. So it's like let me see.
Wayzata?
No, south of Wayzata.
Okay.
It's Wayzata. We should have a Minnesota name day where I have you guys pronounce names from here.
Oh, we could have some fun with Florida.
Yes.
The Seminole Indian names in Florida too. The Chukahichi.
Oh, good God!
California with all of the Spanish names.
Spanish names, yeah.
Yeah.
As an operator, I got to hear some really weird pronunciations.
In Texas, like Rio Vista, they pronounce it Rio Vista.
Or my favorite was always Joaquin.
Yeah,
Oh.
when you do the Indian or the Spanish names, at least they follow a pronunciation that makes sense. In my world, we have French names.
Oh.
And French, the spelling and the pronunciation just doesn't seem to have any relationship.
Yeah. Yeah, I took one semester of French in college.
We've got a mixture. Well, here we have a mixture of French, Native American, a lot of Ojibwe, and then we've got German and Swedish and Norwegian and just crazy stuff. But
Now, some are on guy. You're proud Trump supporter. Tell us why.
Yeah.
tell us why you're a proud Trump supporter, unless you're just a bumper sticker driving by.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Opal.
Educated and voting for your own.
Yeah, because they are
Local guy
coming
never
after-
misses a trick.
They will, as soon as they're done with everybody with an accent, they're coming just for melanin, totally, completely. Unfortunately, that's the way it goes.
I was going to ask you, like Opal. I was going to ask you, like we did for our Denmark buddy. Was that the
Dennis
guy who did? No, the Irish, our guy in Ireland who made the Leprechaun Special Forces avatar for him, and then he turned it into his avatar. I was going to ask Opal guy if he wanted us to make him an avatar, but you got a pretty good one, actually. I don't think you need a new one, Opal. That's a pretty good one. That looks kind of ominous. Looks like Darth Vader or something.
Yeah, I might have to come up with one of my owls.
Yeah, we can make some avatars.
So I'm trying to kill the camera. How do you do that when you're in it? I don't. I've got to enlarge it, and I can't see the screen. So
now you're trying to enlarge the camera, and you're trying to enlarge what you're looking at, or what?
Yeah, and kill my camera so that I won't be making anybody seasick while I'm looking at it.
You might have to go out and go back in, and then hit the little button.
There's a little camera icon at the bottom that you can.
Oh, there I go.
And then then it'll let you choose your camera, or you can choose.
Yeah, there I go. I had pushed the arrow, but I hadn't just pushed the camera icon. So
yeah. And
you can upload an avatar that plays when you're not there.
Mid-Journey, Opal guy, Mid-Journey, whatever that is.
Oh.
Back to tariffs. Did y'all hear the Treasury? Jimmy Kimmel had fun with the Treasury Secretary here, and I thought it was pretty good.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent.
No. Answer the questions I asked, please. I only have 5 minutes. Who pays tariffs?
Sorry. Well,
who pays tariffs?
Sorry, Mr. Secretary, please.
Excuse me.
The question
He can't
is very
even
simply, who
begin
pays
to
tariffs,
answer the
Mr.
question.
Chairman. I'd like him to answer that question.
Well,
he wants to answer other questions.
Well, Congressman, if the exporters dislike tariffs so much, why wouldn't they? If I think what you're trying to get me to say.
Did you remember the question? I'm not sure you did. Who pays tariffs?
It's a very complicated question.
No, it's not. It's an import tax.
Unplugging him and plugging him back in. See if that
It's an import tax. It's an
I was
import
gonna
tax.
say,
He really didn't want to say the American people.
Yeah,
whoever imports the stuff.
Oh my God, it's an import tax.
It's funny to watch these guys who, in general, I find it entertaining to watch these people who signed up for the Trump rodeo, when they have to defend stupid stuff he says and does, and how they struggle with it.
I got a kick yesterday out of seeing one of the things that MS Now is running that had some statement from Trump about, and this is what you call changing the subject. Had something from Trump that he had scoured all the legal authority, and there's going to be voter ID in November, regardless of Congress approving it.
Oh, he's just going to sign.
Trump has scoured all the legal authority.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't get past that little introductory clause. I can't wrap my mind around the concept. This is a guy who doesn't understand that the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments were being violated daily by ICE in Minnesota, and doesn't seem to think that that's a problem.
Well, Russell Vogt said, he got caught on camera giving a speech and said that we would be post-constitutional.
post-constitutional.
Yep, Russell Vogt from the OMB, the Heritage.
I mean, we laugh.
Yeah,
instead
Heritage
of cry.
Foundation, Project 2025
Yep.
editor or author.
Yep, and now he's the head of the OMB. So, yeah.
Yes, if people in a given state vote to have ID and they frame it, it varies from state to state. We have ID here in Washington, but we don't have to present it because we're totally by mail. The only time you present it is when you register the first time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had to do that, and I actually have to show my driver's license if I go to vote.
I do too.
And
Yep, me
you
too.
know, it's not a big deal, but as far as I see it, the problem is they're starting at the wrong end of the algorithm, and they're not going to the front of the algorithm, which gives you the entry points for anyone who's eligible to vote, to provide whatever they need to provide. And you know, we're still sitting here. There's numbers of us, Jamie, Jack, you know, we're all old enough to know numbers of people who didn't have what we would call traditional.
Yeah, my grandmother didn't have an ID. Yeah, she didn't have an ID.
No, didn't have traditional government issued IDs of any sort.
Well, and then
I mean, hell,
my dad.
If I hadn't gotten a driver's license or an ID for some reason or another somewhere along the way, if you went to my birth certificate, you couldn't. I could give you my birth certificate, and I wouldn't have anything that would match it.
Yeah, Opal does point out another fact.
I think that's the part there. I'm going to say willfully, possibly.
Yeah.
Ignore.
I think the thing on the ID, especially as you get our age, is I can find it. I have great ID right now. But 10 years from now, if I'm sitting in the nursing home and not in real control of my life and I want to go vote, I may not have an ID that's acceptable.
Right.
Right.
When my dad couldn't get his driver's license renewed because of his macular eye thing, he ended up not having any ID for the next election, and we had to rush around and get him a Florida ID, you know, because we hadn't thought of doing that when he hadn't gotten his driver's license renewed. I bet a lot of people fall into that. And then Opal guy brings up an important fact: this isn't a problem.
It's not. It's even on the Heritage Foundation's website about how small voter fraud is.
Yeah, I mean,
it's on their
we're
website.
all arguing about all these solutions to something that isn't even a problem.
But you know what? They are figuring out. They're figuring out now that the SAVE Act is going to cost them more Republican voters than blue voters because all of the women that have changed their name and they're down in Mississippi, and it's going to cost them more Republican votes than Democratic votes. And so now they're like, shoot, maybe we shouldn't do this SAVE Act thing. Now they're scrambling. When they wanted us to have a passport or whatever, if your name didn't match, now they're saying no, we probably can't do that because they're not going to get passports down in Mississippi or wherever.
See what we got.
I may have to go out and come back in. For some reason, I can only hear Katie at this point.
Yeah, I think we got.
Let's do that.
For some reason, one of the solutions when I asked Gemini about your problem, he said on iPhones, tap the center of the screen a couple of times. I can't believe that actually it does anything, but that was one of the things it said, because the problem that iPhones have is they think you're on a phone call, and somehow they mix up the audio streams, and so he said if you tap on the screen for some reason, I don't know how that would make any difference. Oh, he's coming. Yeah, I see. He's gone out and come back in. There you are. You back? Is that?
Yeah,
Right. Who's that?
I just had to go refresh steampunk or whatever the hell that thing's called, streampunk.
Streampunk. I like that. Streampunk. Yeah. Oh, our MAGA
Lost
man
it again.
House.
Oh, ARH is back again.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm in the mood for him.
Yeah, we don't oppose it. It's just not national. It's done by the states, not the feds.
It's easy to change your ID after marriage. Well, why should you have to change your ID after you marry? That's the point. We don't. This isn't a problem. We're not solving a problem.
It's not an issue. Like, it's just.
Why should you have to pay to change your ID just because you get married?
Yeah.
And you have to, and if you don't have your birth certificate, you have to pay to get your birth certificate. You have to pay to get an updated driver's license. You have to pay to get a passport. All these things that they want us to use to identify ourselves costs money. And technically, you should not have.
Mind that if they want a voter ID, then they create one at registration,
Mm-hmm.
and it's free.
Yep.
Voting is too important to put restrictions up.
I mean, the reason I oppose a lot of this stuff is it's not a problem that justifies making it harder for people to vote.
It's voter
That's what they're doing,
suppression.
and that's why they're doing it. They don't want blacks to vote. They don't want women to vote. They only want Republicans to vote, and that's what these laws are all designed to do. I mean, and it's obvious.
I'm old enough to remember when my county, you didn't have to register to vote. You just walked into the voting booth where the people voted, and they said hi, and you voted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it was where when I first voted. I don't remember registering to vote. I may have,
But then we have to bring in the 24th Amendment.
Now I forget which one that is.
That is the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for president or vice president.
Is that the 14th Amendment?
Nope, the 24th. This is the poll taxes that they can't charge money for you to vote.
Yeah.
So there's the 24th Amendment that rolls in, but it doesn't necessarily target ID information because, of course, this was done ages ago.
And
because
of course,
nobody decides to amend things anymore.
And that's why Canada makes rules that make it possible for everyone to register. They have a class you can fall into, and class number 3 is totally free.
Exactly. I know our lawmakers said that if you have real ID or the enhanced ID, they would accept that.
Yeah.
But that's Minnesota. Don't know how it's going to be everywhere else.
All right, good luck getting people to think about that instead of $1,000 added to their grocery bills by Trump's tariffs and losing their subsidies for their health insurance. I mean, yeah, they're going to worry about whatever you're talking about instead.
And ARH, he voted against the SAVE Act, not the fact of having an ID. That is state, not federal.
I mean, it's just
It said so in the Constitution. Sorry about that.
Speaking of voting rights, we can't lose the hour without a little shout out, a little remembrance here of old Jesse, who I voted for in 1988.
Oh yeah.
But I am somebody. I may be on welfare, but I am somebody. I may be in jail, but I am somebody. I may be uneducated, but I am somebody. protected. I must be protected. I am somebody.
Right on. Right on.
Interesting seeing that. I was talking with Little Pogue this morning, and he went to City College in New York, and their commencement speaker was John Lewis. And
oh wow,
yeah, and I told him, I said, it's
trouble.
kind of interesting what we have here. I said, I saw Jesse Jackson when he came to the University of Alabama back in around 1973, somewhere in there, when he was doing a nationwide thing with his push organization. And he spoke in the auditorium in the newly opened student union building, and it was packed to the gills. People were standing outside trying to get in, and most dynamic speaker I had ever seen in my life. And I was about 2 years. Well, I was 2 years young. I was 2 years younger than Little Pogue was when he heard John Lewis speak, and he was gobsmacked by John Lewis. And I said, well, there you go, boy.
Yeah. Well, I traveled on the campaign plane with Jesse in 1988, covering his, all the candidates, but I really got on his trips as much as I could because the events were just so exciting, And the thing I remember was Greenfield, Iowa, which is a southwest part of the state, very rural, and he had a rally there shortly before the caucus, and there must have been 5,000-6,000 people at least, and almost everyone was white. And they were rocked out. I mean, and he had this populist message in that campaign that was so resonating, and he won, I think, 5 states in those primaries in 1988.
I think
his appeal in Midwest rural counties was phenomenal. And I've always thought, when I saw Obama come along those many years later, I kept thinking about old Jesse paved the way for you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
He
paved. Germany is weighing in.
Oh, winter's here. Germany, you register when you move in, and then you get an invitation for the elections that you take to the booth.
That's interesting. Well, like
when
we get voter reminder cards and things like that, but that's actually cool.
So when you say move in, you mean when you move into that neighborhood, that area, that the local elections officials just automatically send you an invitation. Huh. Well, yeah, I don't think we'll be going to that one.
Hey, Greg, you're talking about Jesse. In '88, I went to my first Democratic caucus in that little county I grew up in. And you got to understand I don't think there was a black person in the whole county. And extremely prejudiced place. And he came in third in the caucus voting on that.
He did well, I mean, he was. The thing is, by the time he got enough delegates that he gave Dukakis a lot of trouble. And at the Atlanta convention, they had to give him they did not want to do it. There was all this worry in the Democratic Party that Jesse was going to be a problem in the general election if they embraced him too much. And it was a real issue. And they did not want to give him a primetime speaking position, but they ended up having to.
Didn't he come in second in '88 in the primary?
I believe so. I think so. I know he won. What I remember is he won 5 states, and they had to give him a speaking prime time speaking position, and I've got it actually. Here's a little bit of it right here.
Give praise and honor to God, being good enough to allow us to be at this place at this time. When I look out at this convention, I see the face of America, red, yellow, brown, black, and white. We're all precious in God's sight, the real Rainbow Coalition. All of us who are here think that we are seated, but we're really standing on someone's shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Rosa Parks.
Oh, boy.
The mother of the civil rights.
Yeah, she is right there. There she is. Yeah.
Aww.
That was a cool moment.
But as long as we have an electoral college, third parties are always spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit of what happened in that campaign.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, that speech, I was at the convention covering that, and that speech did exactly what the Dukakis people were afraid of. It took over the story. I mean, his speech was a much bigger deal than the
Jesse Jackson. I'm going to say this in that year, he blew it.
Who?
Jesse Jackson had the opportunity to get off his ass and work for Dukakis.
Yeah.
And became a player in the Democratic Party.
Right.
And he went the other way and he marginalized himself.
I think that's true. Yeah.
I mean, I was working up there in Kansas City with a lot of black folks and stuff, and I told one guy, a good friend, I said, he's got it made. All he got to do is he's going to be a player, and then he marginalized himself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, I think Jesse will always be remembered also for opening up the process in the Democratic. I mean, always be remembered inside Democratic weeds, but I mean, the proportional voting system that they used to have really made it so difficult for candidates like him to do well, and so they instituted the rule in the Democratic primaries that you could get delegates. Before he came along and got the rules changed, you couldn't get delegates unless you had like a pretty high percentage of the vote in the primary, and he changed that.
Right. They made proportional voting be it.
Yeah. And that
Oh, and by the way, my Jesse Jackson story, I just realized was in 84, not 88, when he got.
That's right. He ran in 84 also, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I was no longer living down in Dallas County in 88.
Speaking of people running, I just saw Mark Kelly said on the BBC he is considering a White House run.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got to fix his problem with the unions.
Yeah, he does.
Have a lot of issues with him. That's why he got thrown off Kamala Harris's running mate list. I mean, he didn't even make the short list for running mate. And he's I think he can probably fix it, but he's got to deal with it.
He probably could.
His big issue is one of their main issues is fighting these laws that make it so difficult to organize, and they had some legislation on that he was on the other side, on the anti-union side of, and it was one of their number one issues. And so he's got that to deal with, which is
well, and then the guy that heckled Trump, he's fine because he's union. So that's the power. That is the power of a union.
Amazing.
Remember the guy that heckled Trump, and he was going to be in trouble because when Trump went to make a speech or he went to a walkthrough, and then Trump flipped him off and everything. Yeah, he's fine because he's a union guy. So that is the power of belonging to a union, is you can heckle the president and keep your job.
And of course, the FCC saying to Colbert he couldn't air his interview with Talerico.
Boy, I learned about that this morning on Pat D put that on for us this morning. I did not know about that. I really appreciate how she keeps track of the late night talk shows, because I don't always stay up for them, and then I catch up with.
And the way around it, of course, was brilliant because he was all over social media saying, "This is where you can go watch it." So I'm sure the YouTubes now of it are like through the roof.
Right.
He got more. He got even more attention than he would have if it had just been on the show. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting a lot of promotion for his YouTube channel. So when they go ahead and close him down.
Right. Yeah. I gobsmacked by it. I had no idea.
Welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me now is a representative in the Texas State House who is currently running for the United States Senate. Please welcome to the Late Show YouTube page, Representative James Talerico.
So now the deal is that this did not air on the broadcast. This is only on YouTube.
Correct.
Right here, because PBS wouldn't air it. Is that?
Yep. Or as Colbert phrased it, FCCU.
FCCU. Yeah.
Well,
So
now,
because when Talerico went on The View, that's when they got all up in it and saying, well, you have this equal time. It's like, okay, well, just invite all of the Republicans to come on The View then. What's the big deal?
So they're now trying to apply that
to everything.
That rule to late
everything.
shows. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So anyway, CBS.
Yeah, Opal.
I mean,
here's the thing about this. That means they're scared.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're scared.
Yeah. Oh,
They're
for
going to
sure.
lose Texas.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah, and when Talerico said he thinks that we can flip Texas, the crowd went wild. So.
Yeah, but I mean that one is it. I don't care about the Colbert crowd. This is the Republicans in Texas are scared of James Talerico.
Yeah.
They are.
I mean,
if you go on the trail
we're
mix,
all going, well, maybe he could make a good showing, and they're scared.
Yeah. They want Jasmine Crockett real bad because they think that they can beat her, but they think that she's too antagonistic or whatever.
You're right. Opal says Texas will look good in blue.
Yeah.
I saw that if she loses this, they want her to run for governor because they said in polls she beats Abbott. No problem.
Yeah. People hate him.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah.
And Glass Onion, if you go on the Trail Mix CC webpage, that is the opening monologue is there. We both were posted.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all there. Pat D caught that first thing this morning, and we can't wind up without a little shout out to Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall, and just a little bit.
Bro, you just don't ever get the point, dude. It ain't dying I'm talking about. It's living.
Yep.
Took me 10 days.
This is his last interview, so to speak. He's 95 here. It was last, I believe it said last November, I think this was. And he talks about Lonesome Dove.
The novel, Lonesome Dove. Terrific book.
He said it took him 10 days. He got the book, Lonesome Dove, took him 10 days to read it.
And I think it took us 16 weeks to shoot the miniseries. One of the highlights of my life, completely.
Why don't you relax? You can't save me.
I remember watching that with my grandpa.
Yeah. My dad and I watched
Become a drunkard over
series. We ended up getting the I ended up getting they put a remastered DVD collection out, and my dad and I watched it a couple times. And the last time was just about a year and a half before he died. We watched it in his assisted living facility. We watched the whole 6 episodes. I've got about every line of that movie memorized. I think between that and Will Geer and Jeremiah Johnson.
Oh God,
my other favorite.
Well, I kind of like somebody posted the secondhand lions on the website.
Yes.
I love that one.
That. And of course, the iconic one for him is Apocalypse Now.
Oh yeah,
the smell of napalm in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I saw somebody one of the producers of that movie said that when they did that scene, it was so complicated with the planes going overhead and everything that just before he thought he was going to be able to do 2 or 3 takes, or because he was famous for wanting to do a lot of takes, and his ear, they had an earpiece, and they told him in his ear, we can only do 1 take. You got to do this in 1 take. And so that scene that became so famous, he did in just 1 take because they couldn't physically manage to do it another one.
My other favorite of his, Tender Mercies.
Oh yeah, boy, that was a good
Oh
movie.
yeah. Oh, Opal, you're right about that. I've noticed the old Trump trolls they're just getting weaker and weaker. They're just running out of ideas. I mean, they're
free to come in and talk to us.
They can only change the subject to Biden so often. So here's my tribute to Trump trolls.
Yeah,
this is what I call Trump deranged syndrome.
Yeah. When Pam Bondi pivoted
Here's
and said,
who's
but the
deranged.
Dow is over 50,000, that was like the weakest thing I've ever seen. It looked ridiculous.
That's become a big thing on the short videos on YouTube and the TikTok. Is people, I've seen like these kids will go, the mother will say to the kid, you haven't done your homework yet. Have you done your homework? And the kid will go, the Dow is 50,000. When are you going to clean your room? The Dow is 50,000.
So if the Dow is under 50,000, we can prosecute predators and pedophiles.
Yeah. That one's gotten into the
has a question for you, Craig.
Oh, Winter, does American media report much from the? I did. Winter, we did Sunday. I had a whole focus. I had AOC there. In fact, while we're at it, I'll tell you what. Not just Munich. I'm glad you brought that up, Winter, because I got something here that's just a super pet peeve for me.
But not the broadcast.
Rubio's speech to the Munich was weird. I mean, he was like trying to be
because Stephen Miller wrote it.
Yeah, and it was just weird. But even more important to me is what he ended up saying in Munich here, and Mika reported that this morning.
Meanwhile, Secretary of State.
I have to do this stupid thing that I have to remove that from the stage, and I have to put this.
Was praising Hungary's Prime Minister Viktor Orban after a high-profile meeting in Budapest. Rubio met yesterday with Orban, highlighting what.
So after his Munich speech, Winter, and I'm sure you know this because it's got huge coverage in Europe, he goes straight to Hungary and starts praising that asshole, and talking about what a great friend he is. I mean, the guy who's the biggest obstacle in NATO to helping out Ukraine, biggest friend, or not just a friend, an employee of Putin. And Rubio goes over there and just hooks up on him.
Close personal ties between Orban and President Trump, signaling strong White House backing ahead of Hungary's closely contested April elections.
I can say to you with confidence that President Trump is deeply committed to your success, because your success is our success. Because this relationship we have here in Central Europe through you is so essential and vital for our national interest.
See, that's actually a very accurate statement, because his success in destroying democracy in Hungary is what they call success here themselves. And they have patterned what they've done after his success into France.
Well,
it's your fault, Winter.
Orban's in trouble.
You triggered me, Winter. You triggered me.
I was going to say, Winter, the other thing is it's not on broadcast television, evening news, or anything like that. I'm seeing the Munich stuff online on social media.
Right.
That's the mainstream media is not covering it as far as that goes. I mean, the New York Times.
And that's probably where I'm getting my information, is through the different newsletters that actually pay attention to those things.
Substacks and Reddits and YouTubes and all of that. That's where I find it. Because everybody else has become a mouthpiece for Trump, or they're afraid of him.
Actually, they just don't believe it is newsworthy. And newsworthy for modern American media anymore is what will drive ratings.
Well, usually it's some dog getting pulled out of the ice.
Policy, and you can just watch the ratings curve fall off the table.
Yeah.
Well, for one thing, people don't understand it, and they don't. The majority of America probably doesn't know who Viktor Orban is.
Nope. And there's no better way to see where this administration is going than to look at what he did. I mean, the pattern is phenomenal. He lost re-election. Orban did. Then he got busy and embraced demonizing immigrants, and built a whole campaign for a comeback on demonizing immigrants, which wasn't even really a huge problem in Hungary. And on the basis of that, got himself reelected. And then he proceeded to take over the media by the same tactics, by going after the owners of media and pressuring them. And now, it's he has such control over the media in Hungary now, in this campaign that's going on right now. It is against the law for the media to interview his political opponents. And this is what's called and this is exactly the sort of thing Trump and he's
still losing.
He would want to do, and he's still losing, right? I mean, it's backfiring. Hopefully, anyway. So, Winter, we'll stay on top of that. Keep coming back, and keep triggering me. Anyway, I've got a couple of minutes of Duvall to end up our hour, unless somebody's got anything else to hop on.
Just stay safe, everybody. Just stay safe.
And you don't need to go topless to get Mardi Gras beads.
Exactly, that too.
And nobody ever asked me to go topless.
Now, Pug, if you want to try out that app, I've got a link to it in live chat up at the top of Trail Mix. The menu bar up there.
You know what's weird? When I went out and came back in, I've heard everything. I've heard everybody. I've heard everything you've run.
That'll happen. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something odd about iPhones in this platform. But I know the StreamYard people are working real hard to fix them, and they, like I say, they built their own app because they couldn't get Apple to do it, so they built their own to try to help Apple users. So
yeah. Well,
okay, folks, that was fun.
Take care.
Take care, everybody.
I've got a couple minutes of Colonel, Captain Gus in Lonesome Dove. Robert Duvall played Captain Gus, and Tommy Lee Jones played Colonel Call. Here they are.
No, I'll go ahead and.
Once again, I got to do that thing.
Have a good day, everybody.
I have to remove
Bye-bye.
this stage.
Bye.
So long. All right, here comes Lonesome Dove.
Well, you act like you hold it against me. I walked this earth my whole life with my pride, see. Now, if that's lost, then let the rest be lost with it. Because there's certain things my vanity won't abide. Your goddamn vanity.
Some you're more, emotionally involved with than others, I mean, I would have to say my favorite part of all time is Lonesome Dove.
I would think so. Why? Is it you?
Well, when I met Larry McMurtry years ago, he said I should play Colonel Call, and a lot of people said that. They offered me Call. So I said to my agent, look, you have a good working relationship with James Garner. He was going to play Gus. I said, if you call him up, you handle him, and he switches parts, I'll be in this project. Otherwise, I won't. Because my wife, I was separated.
They'd already given it to him.
Well, they had offered.
Yeah.
Said I played parts like Gus on stage, but not in film, more and more muted. But the people that knew me the best said, no, you're more like Gus. Well, even the author said I should play Call. So he said, I'll get on the phone. So he got on the phone. 4 hours later, he called me. He said, James cannot do this part because he can't be on a horse. He has a bad back. I said, well, go after the other part. Otherwise, I don't want to be in the movie because I've done that part. Yeah. And Tommy Lee was wonderful. Tommy was good for that. But I wanted to play this other guy because there's a certain part of me that could play that people hadn't seen, maybe more in theater. So, somebody says, when is going to be another Lonesome Dove? I said, not for another 100 years. Lori, listen to you now, pretty little thing. You see, life in San Francisco is still just life. Now, if you want only one thing too much, it's likely to turn out a disappointment. Now, the only healthy way to live, as I see it, is to learn to like all the little everyday things.
Yeah, like what?
Like a sip of good whiskey of an evening, or a soft bed, or a glass of buttermilk, or say, a feisty gentleman like myself.
You're one of a kind, Augustus. We're gonna miss you. Even you? Even me.
Hell, they be writing songs about us for 100 years. Hell, there never was 1,000 Comanches and one much in the whole world, you know it. That ain't the point, Woodrow. What is it then? Another 20 years, we'll be the Indians. They'll be trying to stick us on the reservation just to get us out of the way. I'd say that's dang unlikely. Well, maybe you're right. I reckon I am. Hell, I doubt we'll last another 20 years.